Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing the Lower Mountain Fork River and Broken Bow, and later in the show, $2 billion theme park in Oklahoma, and it's not Disney. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley. It's not Disney.
It's not. Which, speaking of Disney real quick,
Okay.
I'm a physical media guy. Disney announced in the region of Australia, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which ironically is your favorite movie of the year so far,
Oh, yeah.
will be their last movie they produce in physical media in Australia. The wave is coming, man. It's coming.
I am not a fan of buying things that I don't actually own.
Yeah.
I'm done with, who was it? John Deere wanted to have where you couldn't buy their stuff. You had to just lease it.
Yeah.
And, like, if you needed...
Well, and you and I had this, we've had this conversation quite a bit because I'm going to say it, you're a kind of one of the voodoo video pioneers before it got bought by Fandango.
Right.
Because I remember we were talking about the fact that you're paying $20 for a and this isn't when physical media was, this is when physical media was still pretty prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
It was more than a shelf at Walmart. It was still a thing at Best Buy.
Right.
And they're charging you the same price for a brand new physical copy as they do the digital. It's never made any sense to me. And I don't, and unless they do something drastic, there's always going to be a market for physical media. It may be why some of your pre-owned stores that are still doing really well, because there are people like me, and on occasion, probably not so much like you anymore, but that still buy physical copies of movies.
I buy physical copies of movies all the time.
I don't know. I don't like the changing of the tide. I can see it coming.
Well, you like physical media.
Yeah, I do.
And I also know that you really like
Broken Bow?
kayaking on the river.
You know what? I may like physical media, just it gets a slight edge over kayaking. I probably buy more movies in a year than I kayak in 5. But yes, kayaking is on my list of things. It's on my bucket list of things to do to create my death. Not necessarily do before I die, but maybe to die.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Broken Bow in southeastern Oklahoma here recently.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about some of the times that I've visited the rivers down there, specifically Lower Mountain Fork River, which I don't think that you would do.
Probably
so we've done the Illinois and kayaks and canoes, and I think that maxed out the Brett anxiety meter.
Well, and that, if you compare the two, Tahlequah is kind of it's a small world after all log ride at Disney. Through a channel that doesn't let you go anywhere. It's a bumper car for amusement. This is not.
No, I'm going to say it's not. Technically, it's not. It's probably not that much worse.
Right.
As far as whitewater goes, but it is hailed as the best whitewater stream in the state, and I don't know about you, but it is too damn hot to not be in the water now.
This is a time where I'm begging to capsize.
Yeah, for sure.
But hoping to not die under the kayak. But yes.
So this stream, though, perfect place for that. The water is cold. It comes out of the lake right there at a dam.
Yeah.
It really is peaceful. It's tranquil. And if you're not a kayaker, dude, I'm telling you, there are spots where you can just sit and watch the water going over
watch the
big
people
boulders.
going over. Yeah.
Dude, it is tranquil.
Yeah, it's tranquil. If you've got a spot to sit and that's your thing, this is probably got to be top 5 things to do in Oklahoma. Honestly.
In the summertime,
not a doubt about it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. This is one of the purest rivers in the state, though. It's lined with 100-year-old cypress trees. The scenery's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I can't do justice to the waterfalls
that
that are there. But they basically open up the dam a couple of times a day, and it completely changes the landscape of the river for a couple hours. So you can go and hang out for an afternoon and experience like 2 different rivers in the same spot.
We've been in and around things that are geographically similar. It's still, we talk about it on every show, just about, when it comes to this, especially this part of the country. And maybe we should venture off, more in the other direction and up that way, north more. But this is something out of Montana. This is Colorado. People that exile to go other places to do destination geography.
Right.
It's right here, a couple of hours away from here.
Yeah.
And if you looked at it, you wouldn't know that.
No, I agree. The river itself is 98 miles long, and it's divided into 2 sections, the lower and the upper. It flows through part of the Wichita Mountains. And the lower Mountain Fork River, though, has 12 miles of designated trout fishing, so there's plenty of room to spread out.
So picturesque.
This is the area where they stock the rainbow trout and brown trout every other Thursday year round. It's super popular for trout fishing.
They've pulled some rainbow trout out of there that will make a smallmouth bass shiver in its gills. Take that out. I was waiting for you to say something. Anything.
Definitely staying in the show.
God, I hate you with a passion.
The river, though, is very popular with canoe and kayakers as a float trip destination. Again, I think spring, I think fall are awesome. Don't do it on opening day. It's too damn cold. But summertime, dude, right now, I don't think there's any place that I would rather be. If I'm going to be outside, I want to be in moving cold water.
I was watching a video. They weren't here, obviously, but some people that were out kayak fishing on a lake. Mm-hmm. And it was so hot that there was a group of them, and they were all, and most of them were self-propelled, so they just kind of were just hanging out, holding on to the back of their kayak. It's that hot.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if it's that hot.
It's ridiculously hot, Harley. It's a dry heat.
There's about 5 miles of the lower river, though, that runs through Beavers Bend State Park. Boat access is unlimited there. And then below the park area, there's a public access points at the dam and near the Presbyterian Falls. And there are camping and cabin rentals available in the area. Obviously, this is the Broken Bow area, so there's obviously going to be some cabins around. But plenty of nice camping spots. One of the awesome things about this river...
There's a lot of awesome things about it. One of many.
Okay. I need a thesaurus. What's another word for awesome? One of the great things about this river is that it has a constant flow of refreshingly cold water.
What is another word for absolutely? Because that's where we would insert absolutely. We would say absolutely right there. You are correct, sir. We'll do the Ed McMahon. You're correct, sir.
Yes. But as far as swimming goes, I'm telling you, I think if you go down there right this second, there's probably 100 people who found several small pools along this 100 miles of river to swim, to soak up to their eyeballs in the water and try to breathe through the top of their scalps.
Fun fact: can you swim underwater?
Yeah. What? Okay. What kind of question is that?
It's an easy one. Can you swim underwater?
Everybody can swim underwater.
Okay. Can you swim above? Can you swim like just
above water?
Well,
yes, I can swim above water.
Jesus, I'm not saying walk on water, which you think you can do that too. Can you float?
Yes, I can float.
How can someone write in or tell us how I can float?
No.
I am the most lame pool party guest because everybody's like, yeah, man, come on, man. And I'm just sitting there splashing myself in the shallow end because I can't.
Here's what you need. You need like
a floaty
underpants that are like Depends but are actually a flotation device.
Oh, so I'll have, like
adult floaties.
But it looks like I have diaper butt. Deep end, diaper butt in the deep end. That's what we'll call deep end diaper butts from the makers of Depends.
Yeah, I think so.
Will I die drowning? Well, it depends. Anyway, swimming. When you talk about swimming activities, that's my thing about the river.
Okay, here's the thing. You don't have to swim. You can literally just get in the water and sit down in water that is shoulder deep.
While everybody over here is doing cannonballs and jackknives, I'm over like, wee. Come on, man.
Dude, you know how many people I see sitting in the river or in the
They're
lake?
drunk.
On a lake chair where they're just sitting, like armpit deep drinking a beer or
passed
watching the
out,
sunset.
Right, with a can koozie. I want to be like, I'm like the Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are. That's what I want to be.
You're not a child. You know how many adults you see like, oh my God, we're diving for pennies at the bottom of Lake Thunderbird.
Right.
It's not a thing.
I know, but if I wanted to dive for pennies, there's a 99% chance that I'm not coming back up.
Then don't.
But what if I want to? What if I want to dive for pennies? Anyways, tell me more about water activities that I can sit and splash like a 46-year-old 5-year-old. Sounds like fun.
It is fun, and it's really a place that you can get away from the city, and it seems like you're in
Oregon.
Just a gorgeous wilderness river environment.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody needs to unplug occasionally. I think this is a place to do it.
Yeah, we say it a lot, and maybe, I don't know, as soon as those checks stop coming from the tourism department, maybe we'll stop talking so lovingly about it. But
we will include a link in the show notes to Travel OK's website with more information about the Lower Mountain Fork River in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
And coming up after the break, a $2 billion... I'm not going to do it. And coming up after the break, a $2 billion theme park. So they're bringing in some fiber optic. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be available in my area, but it's literally, well, you're a block away. Your area doesn't. Can you dig a hole? Can you just dig a ditch and drag the cable? Or the whatever. We're in a wireless generation. Why are we? Well, we can't dig a hole deep. And what do you mean? The internet is in the air. I hate the big guys. It's been nothing but a pain in the tuchus.
For internet?
It's not getting any cheaper. Neither is my cell phone bill. I looked at my cell phone bill. Ridiculous. For me. For just me. I'm paying $100+ a month.
Good Lord.
Yes.
It's time for you to move to eastern Oklahoma.
I'm saying it. I'm going to say it again. We keep saying it every week. I'm moving. I am moving. But I just need to know if the child care is any cheaper there.
I don't know if the child care is cheaper, but Bravado Wireless is definitely cheaper.
Yes. And if I wanted to live stream my family, since I'm moving to eastern Oklahoma and they're probably going to stay here, I can do that with Bravado Wireless. You can't do that with anybody else.
I don't know that they would live stream your family for you, but as a local business, they are passionate about building community.
Yes.
And they do live stream local events.
Well, it is. Seeing my kids could be a local event. Have you met my kids? It's a circus.
You're not going to have to deal with the circus of the big guys
when
you're using Bravado Wireless.
Oh, don't get me started.
They're not big impersonal national carriers. They're your neighbors.
Seriously, they work where you work. You run into them in the grocery store. They probably, if you're late on your payment and they see you on the toilet paper aisle, they're not gonna accost you about your bill. I guarantee they won't. AT&T, I promise you,
they're gonna come at you in the toilet paper
They would make
aisle?
you feel guilty for buying 2-ply because you owe them money.
Well, I think that should be Bravado's new tagline. Bravado Wireless. We're not going to berate you on the toilet paper aisle.
Or your phone bill. And if you're looking for some of the best deals in wireless, the best deals in internet, you need to check out Bravado Wireless. Do it today. You can give them a call at 1-866-500-8488. That's 1-866-500-8488.
Or find them on the web at bravadowireless.com. Bert, did you hear the news?
we're getting a $2 billion Walt Disney.
I think there are some doubters.
There is some doubters.
There are some doubters.
That's a lot of. Here's the thing. You're going to read the headline first again. I need to hear it out loud.
Okay, headline: $2 billion theme park opening in Oklahoma, rivaling the size of Disney. This news story's from Laura Morrison, a Fox affiliate in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, experts are saying, "Oh, over my dead body." That's what I'm thinking. That's probably what the House of Mouse said. What do you mean these rednecks are putting in a theme park? We've got to do better. Yeah, you do need to do better. You need better programming on Disney Plus. Your last 3 shows have been terrible. Anyway,
I saw a video of somebody walking. See, here's the thing.
What?
There are some doubters as far as this happening, but I've seen several videos where
the mock-up walkthrough? Go ahead. Sorry. I'll let you finish. I'm excited. It's $2 billion.
I've seen several videos of people walking around Disney parks where it looks empty.
Well,
like 3 or 4 people in frame.
Do you know how much it costs for 4 people to have a Disney vacation?
$1 billion.
It's like $4 or $5 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've watched a few people do videos where a day in the life at Disney, we spent $500 on souvenirs. We spent $600 on. I mean, it's like, golly.
Amber used to be a Disney park goer, and it was literally she saved up an entire year to go to Disney.
Yeah,
and then when she got back, she started saving again for the next trip to Disney. And you spend a whole year of your life saving money to go to a theme park. Maybe the theme park's overpriced.
I think so. It's not. What is their theme? The Magical Kingdom? No, there's nothing magical about. I mean, my kid. Hey, we're both parents. Our kids deserve the world, right?
Oh yeah,
not Disney World. I can promise you that. But
the news story though, a theme park to rival the size of Disney's Magic Kingdom is going to open up in Veneta, Oklahoma.
Yeah, American Heartland Theme Park and Resort.
So they have ties to
Branson,
Missouri.
Yeah, it kind of has a Branson-y ring to it, doesn't it?
It does, but it makes a lot of sense. We discussed this leading up to the show.
Yeah,
that we have gone from spending or having $7 billion in economic impact from tourism in this state.
Yeah,
to almost $13 billion in the span of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, the writing's kind of on the wall because we've also done news stories about the new amphitheater that they're going to be putting in. I mean, they're spending a lot. They're putting a lot of money in. I mean, if there was ever a definition of playing the long game, that's what the state of Oklahoma is doing right now. Now, I think the biggest question is, and a lot of people are out there going, okay, we'll see about that. We'll see about, because when you think $2 billion, the first thing people say is, well, where's the money coming from? The second thing people say is, again, I'll believe it when I see it. The third thing people say, when can I buy tickets?
Well, it's slated to open up in 2025.
Man, that's quick.
2026 in stages, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's supposed to cover 125 acres. The park is supposed to cover 125 acres, which is going to be situated next to a new campground RV park area that they're calling Three Ponies. And then there's also going to be a 300-room hotel complete with an indoor water park being built. And then the expansion is supposed to be an additional 1,000 acres.
From what I understand, and kind of listening to the way you're listing off, campground to RVs and all that, I think they're starting with the RV and campgrounds first.
Which is probably smart and easy.
Moving into the hotel next.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, smart money says RV park and campground first.
I
build your audience.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But as far as the park goes, they have some online mock-ups of the park. It looks really cool. The park is going to be broken up similar to Disneyland. And there are different lands, air quotes, for people to explore. And the way they have it broken up right now is the Great Plains, Bayou Bay, Big Timber Falls, Stony Point Harbor, Liberty Village, and Electropolis.
A lot of me gets Branson vibes. Other part of me gets redneck Disney vibes. And then there's another part of me, maybe it's because it's about to turn 40, I get Wally World vibes.
I don't know. I think it really depends on the way that it is executed.
Yeah.
I think you can go any one of those directions very easily. But at the same time, if you do it right, you pay attention to details, and unlike Disney, if you're willing to listen to your customer base,
yeah,
then I think you could really make a run.
I do too. I mean, I'm not saying that we don't need something like that already. I don't know what Frontier City brings, how many asses they put in seats over there. I think it would be cool to have a destination location like that to go. My only concern is, can you imagine the line to get in or to get tickets, or what are the ticket prices going to be? What is the package? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to rival Disney, if you're going to spend $2 billion on something, is this going to be one of those situations where you're going to, the minute you find out when tickets go on sale, do you start selling stuff? I mean, what are we looking at there? I mean, surely it can't be cheap.
I don't think it's going to be cheap, but I don't think it's necessary. I mean, when they're talking about having 2 to 4 million visitors a year.
Damn it.
You don't have to charge a lot per person to start recouping that.
Yeah.
You don't need $5,000 a family to keep that afloat if you're getting that much traffic.
Yeah, I guess I don't think about it because I'm not a theme park guy. Honestly, I haven't been to Frontier City in probably 25 years. I've never been to Whitewater.
You've never been to Whitewater?
Never been to Whitewater.
It's not called Whitewater anymore.
Renegade Rapids or Whitewater, Texas water slides or whatever it is now. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Running water, crazy party place. I don't know what it is. But I've never been there. Dude, you had to have money to do that kind of stuff when you were a kid. I didn't have any friends that had a pass.
And you're terrified of water, so
I wasn't then. I just didn't. It was just not.
Did you float then?
I don't think so.
So you still sank to the bottom?
Listen, in the 80s, these are the swimming lessons you got. My cousin Chuck, we're at Lake Texoma. I can take you to the spot right now, Catfish Bay. They're saying, all right, we're about ready to head out on the boat to go do whatever, go to the sandy beach. Brett doesn't know how to swim. Brett doesn't. What do you mean, Brett? You know how it is. What do you mean Brett don't know how to swim? He doesn't know how to swim. All right. Chuck says, Brett, come here. I'm paraphrasing. He grabs me, throws me in the water, says, swim. I'm like, that's not how that works. I got a stepdad that's just like you. It doesn't work that way. You don't just get in and drive. So that's why I don't float, probably, because somebody threw me in the water at Lake Texoma in 1985. Anyway, no.
So you got waterlogged in 85 and now you don't float anymore. Got it.
I pretend to hate water because I don't want to sit there and look like a dork, dude. That's just all there is to it.
You look like a dork all the time.
I know, but I look like a really big dork in the water, splashing around with my pool toys over in the corner. Anyway, it sounds like $2 billion.
If you want to keep up on this news story, we're gonna keep our.
As you can tell, we're doing a damn good job of keeping you guys up to date right here. We've done nothing but talk about how poorly I can swim.
We're gonna do our best to keep you up to speed on this and other tourism-related stories that are developing.
Right.
We'll include a link in the show notes.
Dude, we're hopping. We're the most happening tourism podcast next to Armchair Quarterback or whatever his name is.
What?
The Armchair Guy.
It's not a guy, it's a team.
Team
This is
Armchair.
one of the reasons that they're never going to be successful. There are like 109 people affiliated with that. I'm sorry, if you have a producer, an executive producer, and, a key grip and a best boy and a stunt man and, 13 audio processors and, a social media executive and...
Yeah, if you're not making... You know what? If you're not recording your podcast in what would have been a kid's bedroom...
on an old 8-track that you somehow figured out how to record onto, you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right.
So, feedback.
Yes.
Start off with... So we got a boost on Fountain, which I think is super cool, but I'm more in love with the name of the person that gave us the boost.
Okay.
The boost. Only one cannoli on Fountain.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was an awesome name. Gave us a 475 sat boost on Fountain. So if you guys are using the Podcasting 2.0 apps and you want Brett and I to be able to take swimming lessons, you can always give us a boost.
But only if they use Bitcoin and crypto, right? I think that's all that equates to is in crypto, right?
That is cryptocurrency, yes.
I don't know if the YMCA swimming lessons, they're like, dude, we teach 5-year-olds how to swim. We don't do crypto. It's cash and card. Can you imagine being there with like the 5-year-olds trying to swim and they're like out swimming me? God, that would be embarrassing.
I think that's probably pretty standard for you. So Dale Lakin on Facebook, though, was referencing our Holder Hill cabin episode. He said, we stayed in that cabin 3 years ago and loved it, even though it's one of the clusters of cabins that has become so common in Hochatown. He said he refers to them as neighborhood cabins. This one definitely fell into that category, but still gave that private feel, being separated from the rest because it's in that forested area. He said this isn't always the case when you get a neighborhood cabin. Some of the cabins are stacked on top of each other and offer zero privacy. So the Holder Hill cabin, I think, is a winner according to Dale Lakin. And
there was some back and forths about the Holder Hill cabin in there as well. But I'm telling you, word's getting around about this little community down there, southeastern Oklahoma.
I think more importantly, word's getting around about this little podcast called the OnlyinOKShow.
Over here in western Oklahoma down there.
So the Season Cafe posted on Facebook thanking us for doing the show that they really strive to do to satisfy everyone that has chosen them as a restaurant.
Right.
They said that we are awesome at explaining how delicious their food is.
Telling you.
They said, we love what you guys do. And we already have your listeners coming in to eat the food. And there's a reply on the post that they put on Facebook from Julie Adams that said, we had breakfast this morning, and I meant to tell you that I heard the podcast, and that's how we found you.
I will say this. I would caution them to name a food after our podcast simply because if you read it, it goes against everything that we said about their food. Would you buy an omelet that was only an okay omelet? No, because it suggested it's just an okay omelet. If you're not well versed in the linguistics of the show, you don't want to sell only an okay omelet, right? It sounds average.
It does sound average. Maybe like the everything all at once in Oklahoma. That sounds like the name of a freaking podcast, a multiverse podcast about Oklahoma. How about the Breton pancakes?
Breton pancakes? Or
Brett and pancakes? Maybe they name a pancake dish after you?
They'd have to crumble up bacon and put in there.
Like Spam. If they did Spam and pancakes, they could call it the Brett.
As long as it can't float in the pool. It's got to be able to sink to the bottom. Well, let me give a little feedback. Can I give some feedback?
On who?
Sixth Day Snacks. They're a salsa company out of Oklahoma. Got in touch with them. We tried to touch back and forth, try to get some. So I went and bought some salsa at Morello's Market. We've talked about them a couple times.
Yes, we have.
Rushed it home and had it. Got their hot, which is like I think it's a mango habanero.
All right.
Their salsa verde. Dude, so good. If y'all get a chance and if you're in the metro area, you can get them at Crest and more. You can get it at Crest and Norman, Morello's. And then there's some places kind of in southeastern part of the...
What's the name of this company again?
Sixth Day Snacks.
Wasn't that a Schwarzenegger movie?
No,
like
that was...
cloning...
No, what was that?
I think there was a Schwarzenegger movie.
Called The Sixth Day?
The Sixth Day? I feel like
Did they name this salsa company or snack company after a Schwarzenegger movie? No. Is it The Sixth Day?
The Sixth Day is a
movie about salsa.
A 2003,
2000
American science fiction action film.
Okay.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he is illegally Are they illegally cloning salsa?
I don't know.
Snacks?
Well, if that's the case, I bought some of the damnedest best cloned salsa. Maybe they were cloned.
I just don't. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Locally made.
Yeah.
I just don't want to find out at any point in time that it's made out of people. Like, I just, like, that's outside of my wheelhouse. I like to eat local and fresh and non-clone or people.
Well, 6 Day Snacks isn't out of Broken Bow, but interesting twist. They're out of Broken Arrow. This is the freaking Twilight Zone. It is the travel and tourism Twilight Zone.
Broken Arrow, also really good movie from around that time.
That's true. John Woo, Christian Slater, John Travolta.
Yes.
A lot of people hate that movie. I
Why?
love that movie. I don't know. I don't know why people hate stuff. I don't get it. I don't get people. I don't get people that hate things. I just don't. And one last thing. The post that I made about the candy corn, did you see it?
Yes.
It went kind of crazy. People were going nuts. Oh, well, gelatins and everything. Well. I'm like, it was a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a freaking joke. But if you want more jokes like that, seriously, this is the place to be.
Yeah, and I tell you what.
What?
If you know somebody that gets our sense of humor, that doesn't know about us yet, let them know about the show. If you think they're not going to get our jokes, don't tell them.
We need all the help we can get. Or do we? We always need help. Our Facebook page is almost at 10 Gs, y'all. We're in the final push. As soon as we hit 10,000 followers,
then we got to move it to 1 million.
But we're going to give stuff away. Pink Cadillacs. Anybody? No? We don't have pink Cadillac money yet? Maybe we should be working for Mary Kay, right? Well, anyway, this has been the OnlyinOK show. New shows every week. Special thank you to our sponsor, Bravado Wireless. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace.
You know, when you make it onto the OnlyinOK show, you can pretty much rest assured
you've arrived. Well, you know, we did resurrect one community from the ashes. I'm kidding. That's a hill I'm willing to die on right there. What are your top 5 hills that you would die on, Harley?
Oh, my God. Dude, you and the top 5 and your rating systems.
Listen, I gave it 3 out of 5. I loved it. We didn't say that about the Season Cafe, though.
I gave it 3 out of 5 on the Richter scale.
How do you feel?
What does that mean?
How do you feel about people doing 11 out of 10?
All right.
Does that bother you?
I also don't like the people who do I give it 3 Bud Lights up. Like, what? What does that mean?
I'll give it 3 Dos Equis.
I'll give it 4 thumbs up. You only got 2 of them. Not, you can count my pinky toe.
My whole family gave it a thumbs up. That's your 12 of us.
My thumb toes.
My toes. Tune in next week when we discuss pizza.
Soap.
What soap? The show Soap? Yeah, it was called Soap. Because you wanted me to do the previously on.
I didn't realize that show was so old.
Yeah. Late 70s, early 80s. It had some players on it, though.
It did. You know what's funny is YouTube does not, like, YouTube has a lock on Soap, apparently. You can watch it, but you got to pay me some money.
It's $9.99 an episode. Why is it $9.99 an episode? Because it's vintage. Have you seen the vintage market? I've been to a vintage market. I didn't know there was a monopoly on vintage videos. YouTube, the home of vintage videos. Mel's Diner, $21.99 an episode. Why? Because of the cliffhanger at the end. There wasn't a cliffhanger. They turned the light off in the diner. Yeah, but we don't know where Mel went after that. I always like Robert Guillaume. You remember Kate and Allie? 2 single moms raising kids together.
No.
You remember Cagney and Lacey?
MD Mohib.
Sounds legit.
Member of 11 groups. He's been on Facebook for 12 weeks.
He's a member of 11 groups, and all of them are
HRD Corp trainings, Washington boats for sale by owner, Revita, new pinstripers.
Is that a pilot's license? You know a song that wouldn't play today? Not a chance. Ray Stevens, Ahab the Arab.
Oh, yeah.
Not a chance, dude. In fact, I think Yakov Smirnoff is racist and he's Russian. He did everything. I mean, he racially appropriated every aspect of Russia. Oh, you remember Yakov Smirnoff?
Oh, yeah. He has a
podcast?
No, I think he has a restaurant.
Yakov's?
I want to say it's Branson.
It's got to be. Got to be.
I got to look at it.
I think Ray Stevens, until he died, was all about Branson. Yakov Smirnoff, once his career bottomed out, I mean, that's where novelty acts go to thrive and die. Wayne Newton went from being the king of Vegas to being the king of freaking Branson. I think he's back in Vegas now, but when people tell me they're going to Branson,
you just want to go, why?
No, I always say, are you old enough? I mean,
he's a Broadway master's. He taught at Drury University and Missouri State University.
Wow. How old is he? 75?
He was born in 51.
51. 72. Yeah, 72 years old. Speaking of which, Paul Rubens, man. Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
he died.
Yeah.
Good riddance. That's what you're going to say. That's what you get for playing with your thingy back in the 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s.
Huh. You know what?
What?
He's not Russian.
He's not?
No. Yakov Smirnoff, a legendary actor and comedian, invites you to Branson, Missouri in 2023. Yakov Smirnoff is a legend in American comedy. After escaping from Ukraine in 1977, which was part of the Soviet Union at the time, he came to the United States with nothing but a dream.
Okay, so technically he's from USSR,
yes.
But he's not Russian. He's from Ukraine.
I bet you he's some jokes about Ukrainians.
I bet.
You do anything fun this week?
They do anything fun this week?
You know what I did this weekend?
Camping.
I almost killed myself. It was so hot.
Stupid. It's stupid hot right now. Like, I just think everything just needs to take a break until September 25th.
So we went camping because we had some repair work to the camper. And, dude, there was a point in time. So, yes, it's hot, but it's not...
Like, it's unbearable.
It's not end of the world hot. I was watching a video earlier where somebody was calling out the BBC because the BBC has all their weather maps.
Yeah.
And it looked like all of the colors. It's like, holy crap, the whole UK is on fire.
Right.
Just based on the...
And it's 80.
Yeah, and they were talking about the temperatures and stuff, and they were like, the hottest temperature that they had is like a temperature that older people will have their house set on the inside. Like, that's a comfortable temp. But, like, the whole thing is red, and they reached out to the BBC and asked them, and they're like, oh, there's not political or anything. We're not, like, that's just the way they are. We changed them in 2017, so obviously it's not political.
Mm.
Like, really?
I guarantee somebody over there is not going, you know, if it wasn't for the humidity, I think it'd be just fine.
One of the colors is like green.
Yeah.
You know, like grass green.
Like Ireland. No.
And, you know, obviously that's the good temperature. You know, it's green.
Yeah.
Somebody said the bottom end of the green scale is like literally freezing. Like, it's literally, you can freeze water at the bottom end of that temperature. Like, that's how bad you have to skew it.
So what is, and of course they're in Celsius, right? So it's probably like 55 Celsius or something like that. What's the conversion rate on Celsius versus Fahrenheit?
Stupid.
It's a dry heat, governor. It's 45 degrees Celsius in this bitch. I don't think they would say that.
Yeah, but I'm looking at CNN's weather map.
Yeah.
And, like, the highest temperature on here is in Dallas at 103 on this map. But that whole thing looked like fire.
Well, here's the thing. I took a walk outside today. It was 100 degrees. If you're not, I think it's really hot. If you're doing strenuous activity, not drinking enough water, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that this kind of heat can't kill you, but I feel like it's hot, but it's not as hot as it's been in the past. Am I wrong?
Okay, so to calculate Celsius, or to get the Fahrenheit version of Celsius, it's the Celsius number. So if it's 20 degrees, that's times 0.1 or 1.8 would be plus 32, so 70 something degrees.
Oh, okay.
It's I just don't. Here's
but you said you almost killed yourself, though. That's why I was...
Okay, yeah, no, but it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's 100 degrees outside, and the camper's in the sun all day long.
Oh, yeah. Because
I did not do a good job of picking a shady spot.
Did you not? Do you not have the same place that you've had at Elephant Rock, the same one?
No.
Okay.
Just different ones.
Okay.
But I didn't remember the way the trees were set up around it on this particular spot. So the sun was on it all day long. So there's a certain point in time where 100 degrees pretty much cancels out any benefit that you're getting from the air conditioner. The air conditioner's just going as fast as it can.
Yeah, but you're in a tin can, basically.
But you're in a hot tin can in the sun. So it was, I don't know, unbearable in the camper, probably 90 degrees inside of the camper.
Yeah.
So we literally just went driving.
And just napped, just pulling the parking lot
Pretty
at
much.
Piggly Wiggly and napped. Well,
we went for a drive to cool down.
There's probably some cabins in and around the, I don't know if you're familiar with the Broken Bow area. We've talked about them a few times. There's some cabins down around there. Probably got some air conditioning. Although there's one, where is that one that didn't probably have air conditioning? The one that looked like the A-framer.
I'm going to play that from the survival podcast thing. I shared it on the Facebook page, but I don't want to play it.
Screw this. We're going to go somewhere where people aren't completely crazy. Turned out Oklahoma was a place people weren't completely crazy. And not mandates everywhere and things like that. So we rented an Airbnb and went to a place called Broken Bow.
Oh, Broken Bow, Oklahoma. It's the... Dude, Oklahoma, I love you. The rest of y'all got to get it together because Broken Bow is on everybody's mind.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a bang-up job. That podcast that I was listening to him as he was talking about the dangers of being in the Airbnb business right now. He's like, if you're super leveraged and you're in a spot where there are a lot of Airbnbs, you got to watch it because he said it's basically supply is meeting demand.
Yeah.
And he said, so any downturn in vacationing means, you're
losing.
Yeah, you're losing out. And if you're leveraged to the gills with debt to pay for it, it's not going to be a happy day.
Unless you're...
Because banks are giving that money out like candy right now.
Well,
unless you're the past 10 years.
Unless you're a company or a business like Seasoned Cafe, where you've literally every sock drawer, every mason jar, every coffee can you've had for the last 5 years, has prepared you. But I think it would be really hard in the Airbnb business when the money's just flying at you.
Yeah, when you can buy a house or build a cabin or buy a cabin and rent it out and cover all of your bills, and the bank is more than happy to let you do it again because you're successfully doing the first one.
Right.
It's real easy to go, okay, now I have, 10 of these.
Yeah.
And I have, $3 million in debt. But I'm chugging along.
Yeah, we got 10 of these going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's easy for that to catch up with you if things take a dramatic turn. So it scares me a little bit. But, dude, overall, tourism in the state of Oklahoma
is killing it.
It's funny. I looked at the numbers, and I'm just going to say...
It's got to be... me and my percentages. It's got to be 60-70% higher it was than when we started this.
Yeah. So when we started this show, tourism was generating $7.1 billion in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And it's up to 12.
That's
I'm just going to say...
Yeah.
The OnlyinOKShow has been pushing tourism.
We've been on the front lines
since 2019, and it's almost double now.
We've been doing this since 2019?
Barely. We touched the end of it.
What's funny when you think about it, because I was talking to Tara about this. She's like, yeah, y'all been doing this for 4 years. I'm like, but tell me right now that from 2019 to about 2021, 22 is almost a blur.
Yeah, that was hard, too, because there was not a happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to talk about festivals when all the festivals are locked down.
It was the Remember When podcast.
Yeah, there was a post that I'd put on Facebook about, I think it was the McLeod Blackberry Festival.
Right.
And I put it up on Facebook. 2020, they were doing all of the stuff like social distancing. You weren't allowed to get out of your car.
You couldn't actually eat the berries.
No, they'd bring them to you, and they were like packaged, and they throw them from 6 feet away, and you drop a $5 bill out the window, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I put the post up on Facebook, and I was like, a lot of these small towns, like depend on these festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and show your love if you're in the neighborhood or whatever. It looks like they're taking care of all of the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So, you should be safe. And dude, we got eviscerated on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they tore us to pieces.
Like
over that.
we were personally, coughing in people's open mouths on purpose to spread the disease. And like, can you believe this shithole town or this shithole state that we live in, and they're doing this when people are dying? And I was like, wow.
But look how much we've grown up since then. To the tune of about $5 billion.
Well, not only that, but I mean, just the opinions.
Oh, that was such a what a vitriolic, divisive.
Oh yeah,
it was warring factions.
Oh yeah,
and if you were anywhere in the middle, you got trampled.
Oh yeah,
even
no matter what side you picked, somebody hated you. Like your mom decided that you were Satan because you had the wrong opinion.
Well,
like, Mom, you've been my mom my whole life.
Not anymore. By the way, your dad's not your dad. It's the postman, and he died. Bye. I remember working in retail, and I'm telling you right now, you had people that were staunchly against wearing masks. We couldn't make them wear a mask. We could suggest it, and they wouldn't deal with you with a mask on. You're wearing a mask. And I had people literally throw themselves away from me because I wasn't wearing a mask. I had a lady pin herself, when I was walking through Walmart, pin herself up against the shelf with her face to the shelf when I walked by her. I mean, it's just insanity. Speaking of things that aren't crazy, Enter the Dragon is not this Sunday, but next Sunday they're also doing a Wednesday show. Now, hear me out. I know Wednesday's a school night. It's also a record night. Sunday's also a edit night. I really want you to go with me.
Where's it at?
Warren. 50th anniversary.
Dude, but it's the Warren. Can we call the
Duncan?
Palace Twin? Or
I know. Palace Twin, if you're hearing me.
Winchester?
Anywhere but there. We sought our soul for Enter the Dragon.
Bruce Lee was not from Oklahoma.
He wasn't.
This is the worst Only in Oklahoma episode ever.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, Ty-Mac, Bruce Leroy, is going to be at the Rodeo Cinema doing a showing of, you guessed it. Where did it go?
The Last Dragon?
The Last Dragon. They're doing a showing of Last Dragon at Rodeo.
When is this? Has that dude aged a minute?
No, he hasn't.
He looks 20 years younger. When did that...
Yeah, he looks better than we do.
1985, dude. This movie came out in 1985. That was almost 40 years ago, and he looks 20 years younger today. That's not possible, dude. He's a vampire. He has to be a vampire.
Yeah, I remember that. That movie came out about the same time that there was a point in the 80s, especially late 70s to early to mid 80s. Especially
Guerrero is a vampire.
He's a vampire. Where karate was king, especially after Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah. 1985
to what, about 80, 88? Yeah, 90, 91?
Yeah.
But there was a point where there was a lot of Bruce Lee.
Dude, I'm telling you, this guy is a vampire.
Yeah,
there is no way. He's got to be 60 years old, 1964. So he's right at 60 years old.
Yeah, he looks better than any 6-year-old. I saw him and was like, are you kidding me right now?
He looks like he's 25.
Okay. He did it.
Bringing fake news to the show. Fact check false.
Did you ever play with a yo-yo when you were a kid? I'm ready. I'm bracing myself for this one.
When I was a kid, we couldn't afford yo-yos. I had to take an old tire iron, put some chain on it, and spin an old wagon wheel. Yeah, I had yo-yos. What the hell? What were you expecting to come out of my mouth when you said, did you play with a yo-yo when you were a kid?
Oh, something about A rat ate it. I don't know. That's honestly what I thought was going to happen. But it made me think of this.
I came home with a yo-yo. My stepdad said, yo-yos are for girls, and he choked me out with it.
Doc Schwartz had said, the prison ain't the easiest place to think.
When there was no meat, we ate fowl. When there was no fowl, we ate crawdad. When there was no crawdad to be found, we ate sand. We ate sand.
You ate sand?
That's right.
Yep.
Best Nicolas Cage movie ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
There's not an argument. There's not a dispute.
No.
Best Nicolas Cage movie ever.
Walking down Old 9 Mile, got the sandwich in one hand,
In the head in the other.
All right, I think we need to get on with the
Okay.
show. I'm going to check. Yeah.
Welcome home, son. Where's you been?
Never. No retreat. No surrender.
No, I'm trying to get him to go see Enter the Dragon 50th anniversary. He keeps going, He said, let me talk to my mom. I said, is it okay? Can I talk?
He is a douche.
And I am Harley.
Can we get on with the effing show? Oh, I got
I was
something.
trying to find tickets.
I'm trying to sell something on
He's showing off.
Facebook
Are
Marketplace.
you impressed by it?
Yeah, no, this is definitely me showing off. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, story time. Tell you about the time me and your daddy did that thing with them 2 things down at the thing.
God.
I remember when he put his thing in that thing down there at the thing, and I was like, what in the hell is he doing with that thing?
You know, I found a show that is
On Tubi. Okay.
that has been ranked. No, it's a podcast
That's been ranked.
that has been ranked by multiple
News outlet.
news outlets as the best
The best.
tourism
best.
podcast on the planet.
In
You know
the
what it is
world.
not? It is not the Only an OK show.
What is it?
You want to know what else it's not? Any damn good.
What is it?
It is so overproduced. I don't even want to bring it up.
Go ahead.
It's called the Armchair Explorer.
Is he from Oklahoma?
No,
Where's he from?
I don't know. Are you dying?
No. No, I'm not.
Can we get on with it, please? 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to do the show's Duke Nukem.
3, 2, 1, snap into a Slim Jim.
Let's go.
Does it sound like Duke Nukem?
No, you sound like you're going to snap into a Slim Jim.
Cup of coffee in the morning, yeah. Cup of coffee in the morning, yeah.
I'm going to do the show.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna, no. Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Don't want to be
I didn't think so.
all by myself.
My eye has been gooey lately.
Why don't
All right, let's do the show.
watching you put eye drops in is like watching a Roger Corbin flick.
Roger Corman, not Corbin. but-
Corman. What'd I say? Corbin?
Corbin.
Corman. Yeah. It's just gross. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing Lower Mountain Fork River in Broken Bow. And later in the show, $2 billion. Why don't we just skip over we don't need to do Oklahoma. We already know what's that.
Dude, it's just
3, 2, 1.
Shut up.
And welcome to the show. Today today. I'm a freaking daywad is what I am.
You remember that time when you actually said today?
That
Nope.
it was before
I
it
don't
was
remember it.
so it wasn't today though.
It definitely wasn't today.
Okay. Okay.
That was pre-COVID. There.
COVID day. COVID day. Okay. 3, 2, 1.